want some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Ready? Throw you a piece of brain.
Alive and awake, and welcome to episode 95 of Bangin' and Bangin' with Gangrel. That's me. Miss Nikki Black over here, that'd be her. Shady Ray in the dark corner that he's never seen with his conspiracy theories, much like his imagery. Never seen, just a mystery. A lot of talk and a lot of huff and puff. I'm going to quit coming here early. I came here to talk business with this guy, and all he wanted to do was talk April 8th. So he sent me clips on the crossings of the thing, the 2017 solar eclipse crossing, and how all 7 towns align with things, names in the Bible, and Little Egypt, and yada, 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 yada. And then he sent me some shit on like storms and 16,000 lightning strikes. And that 2 months after the 18-something 101, there was these 9.0 earthquakes that were devastating along this thing, and it was like boom, boom. He just so
I missed a lot. Huh?
You missed that, and if then he didn't try to terrify me with that, then he sends me things on vampires, like going, oh well, you wrestle as a vampire, you should know about vampires, and how vampires are really these ancient aliens, and they actually do live in Transylvania because that's where the lore comes from, because they like the colder area, but they hybrid with these young humans and raise them up, and they're out in the world snatching up these young kids because they prefer the blood of 21 and under because they don't eat fast food. Yes, because their bloodstream is more pure, yet they haven't eaten and poisoned their bloodstream with drugs and food and different toxins. So not only on top of why they're disappearing for all the other horrible reasons you see in the airport toilets and everything, sex trafficking and period, they're being eaten by vampires now too, which and how the underworld is really, that they're leaking information out from the movie The Underworld. To people like that made the movie The Underworld is much like these vampiric aliens, these extraterrestrials or whatever the hell. So I just came here. I really wanted to talk to him about filming some stuff and maybe doing skydiving or getting on track with stuff, and then I just got bombarded with a bunch of conspiracy and stuff to make me go like. Well, then he says, "Don't worry, I got a gift coming for you. I got a crystal, so I'll survive April 8th as I travel." So like, he's got something to protect me. He's worried about me traveling out there on April 8th. So on top of it all, at least he cares enough. Unless he's really setting me up, he's gonna give me some crystal that attracts all this negative energy, and then I'm gonna burn in hell. And that Satan is the devil is an ego, and Satan is an extraterrestrial, and aliens and shit. Yeah. Okay. It was heavy this morning in here. I got hit with some heavy stuff, like all angles. If it wasn't Satan, aliens, it was vampire aliens, and it was damn earthquakes are coming on Little Egypt and Illinois, and I don't know. I'm a little overloaded right now, so I don't even know how to. I don't. Even, then I had to talk with Nelio, who's having a day. Like, I wanted to talk to him about pads, but then he's telling me about a repossession, a guy wanting to kill him, and some stone for somebody named Husan. I'm like, am I the only sane one today? How was your morning?
Not as eventful.
No, you woke up, yeah.
I woke up, so that was good.
Yeah, I see your hair looks a little different. Yeah, you get a haircut.
I washed it last night.
Washed it. All right. What else is going on with you? So you got your Who Trained You shirt, and Raymond asked me. He didn't make me. Nobody's ever made me do nothing, but he's asked me, "Hey, can you wear one of the shirts?" Yeah. So the Bangin' and Bang. I had to dig around. I go, do I even have one? And I know I had a different one that says just Fangin' and Bangin', right? And and also I have the green, that one I had on the other day with the kind of like a picture of me taped up or something. But I didn't know. I said, man, I just wore that, but he didn't have the Fangin' and Bangin' one. But this one, Fangin' and Bangin' one, he had that he's gonna put up. You could be able to find in the merch store and stuff like that. So I had to dig around, and I found one. I opened it up and threw it on. I was like, oh, it fits. Okay. And then I found an old GWA for you in there. Which don't tell a lot of people. Oh, too late. You showed them, because like a lot of people ask for those still. Like even at the school now, like I'm like, do you got any more of those GWA shirts? Like, well, and I do have a couple of the shorts I'll probably give away soon, because I gotta empty out my I have tank tops I've probably wore like once at GWA. I'll get rid of like if somebody wants to. Okay, because like I just gotta I gotta get rid of a lot of stuff. I got a lot of GWA stuff. I don't want to let it go, but obviously it's not coming back, so I need to let it go and move forward. So nothing eventful for you. Yeah, you woke up and yeah.
I mean traffic and.
Traffic. It's like a
typical.
There's
morning.
Traffic prior to April 8th, and it's gonna be.
The beach might be packed.
Yeah, it is still spring break down here. We're still amongst the season here a little bit.
Yeah.
The tail end of season, but yeah, it's still season. Like, because all the snowbirds are down too, not just spring break, but like. No offense, but the people that don't like the cold and the snow and they're rich enough or they're blessed enough to be able to live in two places, they're like, so Hollywood, where I live, Hollywood Beach is quite busy. It takes me longer to get out of Hollywood Beach than it does. I'm 95, I'm fine, but just to get from the beach area over to like the main intersect, like 95.
Yeah, I got stuck after I got off the highway, which was literally that one strip took me.
But coming here into Highlander, I just take some shady ass back streets, so I'm all right. like come through over here, so I can get here pretty quick. But to go like to the school or something, it adds another. What would be just a 30-minute commute is like a 50-minute commute for me right now because of the traffic. Just to get to the interstate. Once I get to the interstate, I'm fine. It's just the people that clearly are not here regularly and don't know where they're going and they say Florida has no seasons, right? They say there's no seasons in Florida, but I say there is.
We have 2 seasons.
What's that?
Summer and hurricane season.
Summer and hurricane season. Well, I say I know that there's seasons because the tag plates change.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, you know, they go from like just the Florida tag to these like blue and yellow and white tags, you know?
Yeah.
So you see the changing of the tags, so you know it's the changing of the seasons here. So looks like Raymond's trying to move us on. He's not, like I'm not letting Raymond bully me around anymore. And I'm not moving on. We got a lot of things coming up. He's probably got it in the back end of this thing because he seems to do the wrestling on the tail end. But it's a very exciting week coming up. We got Wrestlemania coming up. 2 days of that nonsense going on. Like, I think, are you prepared for it?
No, actually, I'm going to do that tonight and. Yeah, tonight.
Do you want to do what?
Pack.
So you're going to WrestleMania.
I am.
Are you performing in WrestleMania?
I wish.
No, you're just going in a fan aspect. So
just in the background. Which
brings me to this. Like a year ago, basically, is when you started your journey. You went to a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was the first wrestling you went to, and you go, oh, WrestleMania, this is cool. I want to be a wrestler. Now it's a year later. So where do you stand and how do you feel on things after a year of this journey?
It's actually crazy because, they tell you like nothing is what it seems. And that's so true because watching it, you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And you're looking at the athleticism and the storytelling and all this cool stuff that I was never around. Like I never watched it growing up, never really saw anyone.
I find that hard to believe though in the
anyone.
Dominican Republic. Wrestling is big. Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, it's really,
I
really
guess
big.
maybe my parents didn't let me watch it back in the day because
too worried about that Guadalupe or whatever.
No, because I remember
that witch that braids the horses' hairs.
Like I saw something, in the, I might have seen something, but there was always like blood or crazy stuff going on. Thank you. There was always blood or something crazy going on. So my parents didn't let me watch it. I mean, I was really young, so that's probably why I never got around it, and then got into sports. Never really thought about wrestling. What was that?
Mucho sangre.
Too much. Yeah, my mom was like crazy. She couldn't even see like a snake on TV. She would freak out. Like that was the type of stuff.
Me too.
So,
Me too. I don't like snakes.
So everything that I saw is just so different than what I was actually expecting. I was like, oh, this is cool. I was looking for a physical challenge. Last year, I was like, I don't want to do bodybuilding. I don't want to play volleyball again. Like I just want to do something that you constantly progress in, not something that you do a small prep and then you're doing that, or prep for a race and then you do it and then it's over. Like I wanted something that I could keep working on, and then when I went and I saw it and I was like, oh, this looks challenging, it looks fun. So got back. I remember calling Dan. He's like, well, Gangrel's still out because I believe now that I know you were filming that movie, so you weren't there yet.
Right.
And I believe like a couple weeks later, I actually started after signing up. Definitely way different than what it looks like.
Okay.
what I thought was the hard stuff ended up being easier than the other. Like I started, I was like, oh, it's acting. Like that looks easy. And meanwhile, selling's been the hardest thing to do for me. So it's just very, very different, and everything that I guess like I expected out of it was way, way different than what I thought.
So it's been very different. Everything you expected out of it is way different than what you thought. So
yeah, way different.
Key word is like sometimes people like you will drive me crazy like when they come to school because they'll be like, oh, I'm just looking for a challenge or to come get in shape or I'm gonna pushing myself out of my comfort zone, but they didn't watch wrestling, right? So, with that all being said, and you saying those are the reasons you came there, has anything changed within that point?
Absolutely, yeah.
What's that?
Well, the biggest thing is that I actually started really, like finding respect for wrestling. It wasn't more so like a challenge. Now I was like, oh, this is something that people do as a career. This is someone's lifestyle. This is their livelihood. It's not what you see on TV is everything.
Still not looking for the R word, but that's great. Respect's great. Have you found
I don't know.
Can you say it? Something you don't have in your life right now. Love. Have you found the love for it? Love, the L word. I want you to love it, need it.
Yeah. It's like,
gotta have it. Gotta shoot it up, boot it up.
I think
live it,
for me,
sleep it, breathe it,
respect
love.
Is like huge for me too. It's like if I don't respect it, I will not freaking do it. Like
you just love this shit. Like,
you have to.
Gotta love it.
You have to.
You're wasting your time if you don't love it. Like, because you gotta love it. Yeah, you gotta love it, want it, eat it, breathe it, smell it, need it.
Definitely challenging. I will say that challenging, but it's
challenging. Like everything is challenging to get up out of bed every day for me. But I need you to love it. I need you to love it and want it. Like just love it. I need everybody to love it. I need when they walk through those doors, I need them to love professional wrestling. I need them to just love it because then they're doing it out of that passion and that love. It's great to respect it. Like a lot of people don't. Like there's I've met different athletes and people, bodybuilders or different things go, wrestling, like the words you said, like acting or this and this and that. I go, yeah. I go, okay, well, you can come down and train for 3 days for free. And then give me your opinion after.
Yeah. You
usually don't see them after the 1 day. Or they come back and go, yeah, man, I'm sorry. This is way different than what I thought because, there's a lot of illusions and smoke and mirrors to it and this and that, but there's a lot of hard work and you gotta really love it. And if you love it, you come in there and you don't respect it, you will after a while if you continue on to do it because it's not an easy path. It's not an easy journey. So, but yeah, you're doing great and everything. I just think that you're going to WrestleMania. And then you're going to go to another WrestleMania, but I need you to go to a lot of shows in between that, just not WrestleManias,
No, I mean, I go to all the local shows like the CCW.
I need you to go to all the shows. I need you to love it, breathe it, need it. Not just WrestleManias because that's just all glitz and glamours. That's not even. Yeah. It's not even wrestling anymore at that point. People's goals are there, but that's just like going and. It's just. I don't know. I mean, it's like Rome with the gladiators or something, and you got tigers and lions and,
like
and this and this and that.
Yeah.
When the real gladiators work their ways up through the little grimy, flea infested towns, and I don't know. There's so much to it. There's so much, but that's the end game for most people, and that's where they want to be. But gotta love it. I need you to just like when you tell me, I couldn't sleep last night. I wanted to be because I was thinking like. If I could do this move and transition in here and come up with this sequence, or if you're late to the podcast, I want it to be because, I had to pull over and I had to write some notes down because I had this idea how to go into this one spot, or I came up with this transition into this move. Like this is the needs and the wants. This is what I want to hear from all my students when they come in. I want to hear that. If they were to pull, they don't even listen to this podcast, so I'm not even giving them a cheat code to come in. But if they would say, "Hey, coach, I was late because I had to pull over because I had this really cool idea for things," I'd be like, "Well, that's pretty freaking awesome," because I've seen that. One day I was going down the road and there's a fella named Raven, Johnny Polo, Scotty Flamingo. You know who Raven is? Raven. Raven. Most people know. Well, it was Johnny Polo at the time, and it will go on, you know, and you kind of like, if you see a car on the road, you kind of pay attention. There was a light on and I saw it was him. So
I think you've
like,
told me this story.
I pulled over to say like, are you okay? Like, everything cool? And he goes, yeah, man, I just had some ideas and I was writing some stuff down, you know. That's the kind of, you know, that's the kind of dedication, that want and that drive and to succeed and stuff that you really need. And I want to, and when I hear or see that in people, it really, I don't want to say it turns me on because that's kind of creepy, but it does. It switches something to me. It gives me a kick and go like, hell yeah, good on you, man. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear and see, and I need to see and hear to want to continue on. I know people have that kind of passion, but we'll get off that. Hopefully you have a good trip to Philadelphia. I was supposed to be there this weekend, but I'm not going. Unless I was supposed to do the thing Friday. I don't know what happened between Rob Feinstein and his other partner Tim out there at ECW. They were doing the ECW and the arena thing. I should throw them both under the bus because I think they pulled Kevin off too. But they got some kind of squabbles. They're not doing business with each other anymore after this last show or something. But somehow my booking got caught up in the crossfire of it all. And then I just said like, I was talking to Rob and he was like trying to make good of everything, and I'm like. And I could have went and did some tables out there, but I'm not much on the convention part of it. I'm not much on signings and stuff. You know, you can make really good money. I just opted to stay home and chill Saturday and Sunday. Go do the Epilepsy Walk, Epilepsy Alliance Florida Walk in Hollywood. I'll do that, and then I hop on a plane to Australia Monday. So April 8th, Monday. April 8th. Okay. Raymond's Crystal, probably. Which I hopefully doesn't bring the plane down. He's not, God forbid, like, I don't know. I hope he's not setting me up for something. But yeah, April 8th, I got that long
back that day,
flight to Australia. But I don't know what I'm going to do because they had me going 2 days early. So I get there on Wednesday. I got to sit around Thursday and Friday. And I've seen Australia lots, and I'm not into partying anymore. I mean, I guess I can go out and find a koala bear to choke or a pet or
go
something.
hiking.
Hiking. Well, have you seen me walk? You know,
well, like they have like smaller trail. I mean, I've never been to Australia, so I think it's. I
think the average weather there too will be like lows will be in the low 60s and the high will be like the high 60s or something. So I think it's like they're opposite of their season. So we're spring here. They probably fall there or something. Like it's weird. It's because they're upside down. They're under us, right? It's the only other side of the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
is it humid or dry there?
I think it's gonna be cool and damp, maybe because it's going into like towards the winter season. I think. I have to double check on that, but I think it's going into fall. We're going into spring. I think they may be going into fall or something. So I don't know. I'll probably end up just sitting in a hotel room and ordering Uber Eats or something. I don't know, doing something.
Actually, what I do when
doing nothing but losing a whole week. I'll actually miss training and stuff and all that. I do kind of regret taking this. It'll be great to see the fans of Australia. Don't get me wrong in that sense, but I regret the travel. They haven't come through on the flights in the way they promised. There's a lot of misleading things going on with this, but it still be a cool event and. I said, yeah, I'm going.
Send pics.
What's that?
Send pictures.
Send pictures. Yeah. I'll probably go down. I'll be in Melbourne, so there's a lot of cool things to go do. There's stuff I haven't done. I'll figure out something. I'll go do something constructive, and maybe I'll just clear all my memory on my phone and film some stuff for this show there. Or something. Yeah, Maybe I'll go streaking through Australia or something, like Frank the Tank in Old School.
Oh, gosh.
I just showed Susan that movie. She's never seen Old School. You've seen Old School, right? No? You never seen Old School? You, Raymond, Old School? It had Snoop Dogg in it for like one brief scene. No, not biting.
I'm horrible. I could have seen it and still not know if I did, unless I actually see a clip.
Will Ferrell, Luke Wilson, or whatever, Owen Wilson's brother. Yeah, it's like where he comes home early from a business trip in San Diego to surprise his girlfriend, and she's having an orgy or something. And they end up breaking up, and he moves into a house that happens to be on a college campus, and his buddy Vince Vaughn is like, "Oh, this is great!" So they make a fraternity, and then
I actually think I've seen this.
It's funny. It's not as funny as Grandma's Boy, but It's funny enough when you have nothing else going on and there's nothing else on TV. You put it on.
That's like one of those airplane movies that you get for free and you just pick them. You know what I mean?
I thought you were talking about the actual airplane movies, Airplane 1.
Oh, no, I'm not Airplane.
Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Well,
Raymond, have you ever seen a grown man naked? Airplane. No.
Well, we had no choice at one day when you sent us to Florida, man.
Good muscle tone, Florida man. But all right, speaking of Florida man.
Yeah,
he's got a Florida man segment up here.
Florida man arrested for trying to get alligator drunk. Oh, Jesus. 2 Florida men were arrested by police after they were found giving beer to an alligator they captured. A video showed Timothy Kepke, I don't know how to say his last name, and Noah Osborne forcefully pouring beer into the alligator's mouth. Oh, we have a video.
Oh, yeah. So all right. What Raymond?
Oh, it's a screenshot.
This is not normal. This is I am sure a lot worse has happened in Florida than trying to give an alligator some beer, man. I've seen people give dogs beer. Why?
A Treasure Coast man is accused of provoking a small alligator to bite his arm, then pouring beer into its mouth. 2 people are facing charges for the incident. According to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, officers started investigating in August, and officials say Noah Osborne caught the alligator, then Timothy Kepke provoked it to bite his arm. A video reportedly shows Kepke feeding the animal beer as it's struggling. When officers interviewed Kepke last month, they say he acknowledges being in the video and says the alligator was alive when they released it. Both men were released on bond.
That's a Florida man right there.
That's a idiot.
Oh, he needed that.
Yeah, all right, Raymond. Thanks for that video.
Can you defend it?
Good thing. I know I can't defend. I mean, that's just some stupid shit. What does concern me is the one fellow on the right. Maybe it's the Noah guy. Looks a lot like one of the students, Rango. Rango with a beard. That scares me. But what I'm thinking, honestly, my first thought was I'm glad it's a baby alligator and. They didn't feel they needed to be breastfed or something and try to bite a titty instead of an arm and give it some alcohol. I don't know why that was my first thought. I'm sorry, Nicole, if that offends you. No, those dudes are that's just I guess that's Everglades, man. I guess I don't know about Florida's, man. It's almost as bad as the one guy. Did you see the news where the tourists from Boston or whatever? They flipped the airboat over and then they arrested the guy because he didn't have a license to operate an airboat out there in Everglades. You know, they were out there taking a tour of Holiday Park or Everglades Park or whatever out there. I don't know. That's just silliness. Is that Coors Light they're drinking? Is that a Coors?
Yeah,
is that Coors Light? Did the alligator like it? It didn't look like he liked it.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it's just mean. I think I think just even holding the alligator like that's kind of mean. I don't like snakes and I'm not a big fan of alligators or spiders or anything like that. But I really don't think you should treat any animal inhumane or handle them like that or do anything against their nature. It's bad enough that we built so far west into their homeland where they live. It's their area, like the swamps and all these waterways, and that's their natural preserve. That's where they should live. And it's bad enough we've done that and pushed them out of places that we're going in there and then poking and provoking and doing silly shit like that. That Florida man should have their asses kicked, to be honest. They should. They're jerks. They're Florida jerks. They're Florida jerks of a Florida man. They're a bad example for Florida. I cannot defend him. Now, you want to ask me about the guy thinking his car's cursed? I might defend him, you know. The man taking a poop on the side of the road was a Rhode Island man. There's nothing to defend there. And I forget what the other Florida man case was. But whatever. I can't defend these two guys. That's just I can't be mean to any animal. I could be more cruel to a human being before I could an animal, you know, like, so like, it's just, there's no defending, no no trying to rationalize that or anything like that. But I did first think, I'm glad they're not trying to give it breast milk or something, because they're about the kind of idiots that would probably try to do something like that. Hey, hon, come here. We got a hungry alligator. It's a baby. We need we need some breast milk.
That's terrible.
Well, it is what it is. I can't defend them. What about you?
No, I mean, I don't.
You don't even know what to say, do you?
I love animals, so this
even
animal
alligators,
abuse-
even alligators,
What was that?
even alligators,
Yeah.
even reptiles. Yeah.
I would have so many pets if I could, but I
What
can't.
about one of those big spiders from Australia?
If it's in a if it's in a terrarium and it minds its own business there, I don't mind it. But
A terrarium? Is that like an aquarium? But a terrarium?
it's like a heated one for like alligators and like.
See, you know all that stuff. I don't know anything.
The only reason I know that word is because I saw this thing once. Because growing up, my dad always kept our house. I think like the temperature was always like at 85 degrees, and I'm like,
Unlike the studio, that's like 20
oh my
degrees
god!
right now.
So I always used to tell him, I'm like, we're not in the Dominican Republic anymore. Like, we need some kind of AC. And
I do notice that the people from the Dominican Republic and also different islands in the Bahamas, they don't like the AC. Like.
Well, my dad never did, and I always messed with the temperature at night because I'm like, I mean, I keep my apartment at 69 every day, all day, so I like it kind of cool. And I told him, I was like, Dad, this is not a terrarium.
I don't know if I mentioned him on here or if it was in class the other day. Norman Smiley is a wrestler. He's like he's Jamaican and like English, right? Like, so I think his mom was Jamaican and lived in Miami. His brother's still friends with Billy Fives. I actually seen Billy post a picture with his brother, Norman's brother, the other day out on St. Patrick's Day, and they're all out drinking. And but I had to share a room with Norman, and he hated the cold. And like we were on the road somewhere, and I would put the air back down to 69 to sleep. And he'd get up, he'd put the air up like. Hour later, like he's sleeping, I would put the air back down because I couldn't sleep, and finally, he just kicked the thermostat off the wall after he changed the temperature. He kicked it or hit it off the wall or something. He got so hot, but yeah, a lot of the people from Caribbean and warmer places are not a big fan of like super cool air.
No, they're definitely not.
I don't mind the heat outside. I love it hot, but at night. I don't necessarily want to sit in it. Like movie theaters, I get cold, and I'm cold in here. But I want to sleep in the cool with a bunch of blankets. But I don't mind it during the day. I like the heat during the day and whatnot. And I could be in a hot house throughout the day. I just can't sleep in heat for whatever reason. So
I'd rather
because my
bundle
boobs
up
sweat,
than...
like.
I feel that.
Yeah. All right. So what are we moving on
Fact
to?
or fiction. The first one is you would carry around garlic to ward off actual vampires in case they approach you about cosplaying as one. Is that true or false?
Well, hold on. I would carry around. You would carry around garlic to ward off actual vampires in case they approach. No. What are you saying? I'm cosplaying as a vampire? What am I? I'm lost on that. You can't help me understand the question.
Like pretending you would carry around garlic to basically scare off real vampires because you were pretending to be one.
I'm still lost. I'm not.
Is it true that you would carry garlic to scare off real vampires because you thought they would be mad at you for pretending to be one?
No.
Okay. I think that's how I answer it.
No, I'm sorry I couldn't understand it, but
I'm like trying to like.
I don't know. Cosplay, real vampire. I got really lost in there. I'm thinking that they're aliens now because Raymond's convinced me that they're like aliens. These dark. And it kept saying dark race, and then like I'm thinking, are they gonna say they were like black? Because Raymond like was giving it to me, and I'm like, what was he talking about? But I mean, they meant dark and menacing, like monsters, like they're the alien. You listen to the thing I sent to you.
I will.
But don't do it at night before you go to bed.
Okay.
Don't do it at night because it's actual scary like horror movie stuff.
I don't like horror.
Yeah,
movies.
no, fiction. For me, fiction. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe other people do, but fiction for me.
Another fact or fiction. While living with Luna, you experience multiple supernatural occurrences involving ghosts and spirits.
Fact.
Fact.
When I first, me and her weren't together. We were just friends, but I was renting a room there, and like 3 months of staying there. Maybe it was 3 weeks. I'm really horrible with time, but the number 3 is in my head, so it was either 3 weeks or 3 months. I don't know which one it was, but almost every day, I would come out of my room. There's a hallway, so her room would be over here. My room was across, and there was a hallway that led down that way to a kitchen. And I'd come out, and I'd always look, and I go, "What the hell was that?" And almost every day, I would see literally like a lady, like you couldn't see her face, but a lady in white, and she would just kind of go through there, and then I was like, I've never really had spoken with her about ghosts or spirits or anything like that. You know, we've talked about a lot of things, but we weren't like, this is like early in getting to know her. Like, you know, we didn't talk about a lot of things we did, of course, that bonded us over time. And then one day I just said, hey, can I ask you something? And she's like, yeah, what? No, she didn't say it. She was like, yeah, what? She didn't always have that voice. And I go, you know, I was pointing down in the hallway. Oh, you see her? I go, yeah, I do. Like, she goes, yeah, she's harmless. Like, apparently, like, the person she lived with prior, like, was dating was a professional wrestler named Dick Slater. She goes, yeah, he's seen her all the time, but he was scared of her. Like, but yeah, so that was the first time that, yeah, that definitely that I could put a time to that. And there's been other times where there was a wrestler that's not with us anymore, rest in peace. Well, Dick Slater, rest in peace too. But was another one called Steve Dahl, and I lived in his basement in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and it's just outside Nashville, right? And yeah, like another fella that's not with us anymore, Brian Adams, big crush of one of the Demolition members, the third Demolition member, or big crush from. They said he would stay there, and it would be summertime, and he'd be in this basement. It's a big basement. It's almost like a whole other layer of the house, and
they have that a lot in the Midwest.
And something would. He would be sweating down there. The heat would be turned on. You can only turn it on from the basement, like, so. You know, you had to be in the basement to turn on the heat. And I was like, yeah, whatever. So I was there, and Luna was there too. And one night it was wintertime, and the air would come on. They put the air on down there, weird stuff like that. And then one night the car alarm kept going off. So 2 times. I'd go out and set the car alarm. I was like, it was just right outside the door because the parking was down. The house is up, the basement was low, but you could come down the hill and park behind by the basement and walk in the sliding doors. Right? So 2 times I went out there and turned the alarm on. The 3rd time it went off, I was like, I go out there and I go to come back in, and the sliding doors are locked, and I'm locked outside, and she's sleeping, and I'm like banging her. I mean, weird stuff like that. But in that, she didn't see the thing that I'm going to lead to though. There is this is what made me move from there. I was terrified. So Steve and Patty, they would fight a lot. Like obviously they had some substance abuse issues and stuff like that, you know. So which we all did at different times in our life. Maybe not you, but like in that circle I was in and the people I knew. So I'd hear them fighting about stuff like, oh, who took the credit card or something. But they would hide it. They'd basically get high and hide something, and then get mad at each other. But I was thinking, I'm an outsider, and I can hear them fighting up there. I'm thinking, well, they think I stole their credit card or something. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, they didn't think I did it. I didn't go up there. So I would never want to go up there, never. But the bathroom's up there, so you had to go up there for the bathroom, right? So one day I came in home off the road, and they weren't there. But the bedroom door. So the reason I told you all that is to tell you how secure they were. So they always would shut and lock their bedroom door and stuff, right? Which I would too if I had somebody living in the basement, whether I knew him or not. An innocent man, if you put temptation in front of him, if he's in desperate times, could do something that he wouldn't usually do. So, you know, I would probably lock the door too if I kept my valuables or something in there, especially if I thought shit was always going to miss, you know. So I go up there and the door's open, and I'm like, oh, I feel really uncomfortable up here. It's just felt uncomfortable immediately right away with that door open. I was like, this is I don't know. I don't want to be up here, but I had to go to the bathroom. I wanted to brush my teeth and then go down for the evening. I came in off the road. It was early afternoon, or late afternoon, sometime in the afternoon, maybe like 3-ish. Actually, Wolfie D and PG-13, they had dropped me off for whatever reason. I was traveling with them that day. I don't know, but they knew about it because Wolfie's always wanting to come on here and tell that story. But because I was freaked out. So I go on there and I'm bothered because I'm in the bathroom. When you brush your teeth, you're looking in the mirror, but in the mirror, you could see their bedroom door open, and you could see this crucifix. You know?
Oh gosh.
So a cross, and it's just like my eyes are drawn to the mirror to keep looking at that cross, and I'm like, God, it's got such a uneasy feeling and so uncomfortable, and I just wanted to get back downstairs, and then, man, this dark shadow of a creature type of thing, just crossed across the cross, the crucifix, and boom! When I saw that, I just didn't even finish brushing my teeth. I hightailed it down there. I gave Luna calls. I'm coming home. I'm not staying here anymore. I called them. I don't know why I called them. If I needed a ride, I don't know why I didn't have a car for some reason. I don't know what was going on, but I vacated there. I moved out after that. But she wasn't there for that. But she was there for the stuff prior, the little stuff that could have been all explained coincidentally. You know, car alarm could have been doing anything. You could write off the thermostat as some electrical problem. I don't know, but other people had been there prior to that problem. But what I saw, I couldn't write off. You know, like the just having that uneasy feeling, the door being open for whatever reason. I don't know why it was open. And then that thing, unless they were just happened to be getting robbed up there and I didn't know it or something. Like somebody was robbing the house. I didn't think about that till just now. That would have made sense. Like door was open and they're moving in the shadows, and you know, you just happened to see the shadow. Maybe I was almost a victim of a home invasion and I didn't even know it. But no, I'm pretty sure it was something evil. I left there. I was out, gone. But there's been a lot of other things. But I can't. I won't put into it because I'll say there was drugs involved. So anytime I was doing drugs, I couldn't write any of my feelings off that I thought I seen her do anything, because I just couldn't do it. Like once you add drugs into the equation, you put a foreign you added something foreign into your environment. So you can't go by that. So we can't go by any of those things. But for sure, the ghost in her house. I was sober as a judge. I wasn't even partying at that time anymore. Barely even drinking then. And fact.
Oh, jeez. Another fact or fiction. The blood you would drink and spit out was real period blood from your dog Buttercup. Oh my God.
Was what? Period blood. Menstrual blood? Like.
Yep.
Or time period blood. What? Read that again.
Like.
Can you read that again?
Blood.
Just read that again for me.
The blood you would drink and spit out was real period blood from your dog Buttercup.
I didn't have a dog named Buttercup.
This comes from...
Who asked this? Oh, somebody actually asked this?
Yeah, someone said Smoke Dog GMFG.
What does that mean? Is that abbreviation for that? Or mother...
I don't know.
Smoke Dog. All right, we'll just go with Smoke Dog. Good morning,
He
Frog.
said, I heard the blood Gangrel drink and spit out was real period blood from his
Somebody
dog
really
Buttercup.
sent that in, Raymond.
Yep.
Raymond.
Look, they commented that 7 years ago in the video.
How many? 7 years ago. Jesus, Raymond. Like, how far deep did you go to dig this up? You saw period and blood and dog name. I see somebody being a jerk because I never had a dog named Buttercup. The only dog I had, ironically enough, was named Cain, and not from Cain and Undertaker, but from Cain and Abel in the Bible, which goes back to, some people believe were the origins of vampires, because he killed his brother and they was sentenced to live off the blood of humans, right, for the rest of his life, walk the earth, right. So some people believe that. So I had a dog named Cain. It was a boy, so I'm pretty sure he didn't have a period. So a dog was named Cain, and he was a boy, no period. So I would say fiction.
Okay.
For sure.
Like,
I just wanted to hear her read period blood again. A dog named Buttercup. Build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to bring me down.
Yeah, that's
right. How's that
gross.
go? Sing that. How's that song go? Why do you build me up, Buttercup, baby, just to bring me down and drink my period down, Buttercup. That's gross. What are we watching now? The end of Bobby Lashley, or
so racist.
No, who's the guy that landed on his head? Big E. I couldn't think of the name of the guy that got hurt. Like I just seen them suplex. I don't know, but that's from the video game. What is that? That's not an actual video.
It is.
Why does it look blurred and digitalized like a video game? It looks like does that not look like a video game to you?
It looks like a recording of a TV.
Video game. Oh. Well, that's
like
not
they took
good.
a phone and recorded the TV, it looks like.
Yeah, that's not good. Go ahead. What's up with this? Oh, Big E update. Okay.
In a recent interview with CBS Sports, Big E opened up about his future in pro wrestling following a fractured neck injury he suffered on SmackDown 2 years ago.
Okay.
When asked about health and a possible return to pro wrestling, Big E said this: C1 is a tricky bone. I broke it in 2 places, something called a Jefferson fracture. So, I'm just trying to make the best decision for myself and for my health. I wish I had a better answer, but unfortunately, I don't have any right now. Big E also stated he isn't sure if he can't or if he wants to risk long-term injuries, like ending up in a wheelchair by returning into a ring action. You're no stranger. Okay, so this is to you. You're no stranger to injuries caused during in-ring action. My question to you is, have you ever been faced with having to make a decision between your pro wrestling career and your health?
Yes. I broke my neck, and they told me they wanted to fuse my neck, and they said if they would fuse my neck, they'd go in. What was it like? I don't even remember the C3, 4, or 5 or something like that, whatever in the neck. Pay much attention to medical terms, but they fused it at that time. They said that I would have to have retired, so I asked could I do a rehabilitation, try to do things, and they said you wouldn't be able to handle it. But then when I informed them I had already wrestled for a week with it on the road and flew home from Indianapolis to Tampa to see them, they were like, "Oh, okay." And I did the rehab, and I could do it. Like there's days like today that I'm having I have an extreme headache. I don't complain about it anymore. It comes and goes in my neck, and there's days that just I'm struggling today. I woke up struggling with it, and ride my motorcycle. I can't lean forward for a period of time. My arms go numb, and I can't lean back and on airplanes and stuff. You'll never see me with my seat back on an airplane. Like, I see people come on and go, "Oh, this big bastard's gonna lean that seat back on me," but I never do. I can't. So that's why I don't mind sitting in the exit row where it doesn't recline, because I can't put my seat back. So, yes, I was faced with that, and I was lucky enough, but. The neck wasn't what even really concerned them at that point. I think we've gone over it before about the hot spot on my brain and the concussions and stuff like that. That took longer to clear me. That was one time. I broke my neck playing football. It had nothing to do with wrestling, but they suggested I never do any more sports again after that. But then I ended up wrestling. That was just a fracture, though. That was a fracture. I wasn't broken. That was a fracture. Both shoulders, 99, before I broke the neck. They told me both shoulders, my shoulders were popping in and out. And I had them looked at, and they said both shoulders needed to be totally reconstructed. And for them to do that, it was so much work that I would have to retire, because I would destroy the work they would do, that my shoulders were so bad. But again, I sucked it up and just learned how to work out around it. And I'm still here today, wrestling, 25 years after being told either with the neck or that, So, I was faced with it, but I don't know the extent of his. C1 is like right up there, right? That's the
dangerous one. Yeah.
And I don't know his position. I'm sure he probably still works for the company, and it's different now. Back in my day, they just let you go. Your contract came up. There was no feeling like sorry for you, or there's no nobody was gonna sue nobody or anything like that. We released you, whatever, and you moved on. Now it's different. It's a corporate world. Things are different. They take care of you better. He's probably a what do you call that? Ambassador for the company now, or probably does some other things like that. So he has other avenues and opportunities to still be around wrestling and still make a living through that. Like where that wasn't a big option for us and when I was there. So like my decision to push forward would have been more to because I need to, I want to wrestle. I love wrestling, and that's all I know. And I don't have any money or something. I got to make money, where he's probably has a job, this and that, and he can make a better decision for his health and do the right thing. And I hope he makes the right decision. If it's something that could paralyze him in the future, one thing I hope he chooses his health, and he's smarter than like the older guys, because he has more options. And with those options, I hope he exercises those options and does the best thing for his health and body and for his family.
Yeah, that makes sense. A follow-up question on that. If you knew what you know now back then and could go back in time and change or remove a wrestling maneuver from your arsenal, what move would it be?
I wouldn't have changed anything. I just wouldn't have forced all the bridges. I used to do a lot of tiger suplexes and German suplexes and Northern Lights, and I could do them really clean, where I wouldn't even touch my head. I'd just come rest down on my forehead, or I would just force them in there and land dirty. Like, just, it was all the dirty suplexes that did my neck and just landed on the top of my head with all their weight, not having a clean bridge or my form not being clean, just forcing it in there dirty, not a clean suplex. So I probably like wouldn't force the move if it wasn't there. With experience, you go, okay, a square peg, round hole, something's got to give. But I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change any moves. I wouldn't take them out. I just wouldn't force the moves if he weren't there. You know, I'm always telling you in class, don't force it if it's not there. Take what's given to you. Don't go around the block across the street. Just take what is in front of you. You know, if it's not there, then don't force it. Don't take it. You know, so
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so WrestleMania 40 card.
So we right to where we started. Okay.
Nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania 40 will be held this weekend in Philadelphia. This is already being called the biggest WrestleMania in WWE history.
I glanced at these cards before you even go any further, right?
What was that?
I glanced at the cards. Like somewhere I read what the cards were. So night 1 and night 2. I didn't even care about night 2. Maybe the main event in night 2 I'd watch, but night 1 is the night I'm watching. Before we go any further, Saturday is the night I'm watching. Not because Saturday I have free time, but it is free time. It's Sunday. I have free time Sunday, but like I really like I'm more drawn to night 1. But go ahead.
Question for you: when you were with WWE, what was the energy like around WrestleMania season? I don't know. I've never played in the Super Bowl, but I could say it was like a few months out of WrestleMania. You kind of knew if you were in a program, you knew if you were heading there, you know, because like back then they kind of, and I'm sure they still do now to a degree, build up to it.
You know, a year out where you're going to be or where you're projected to be or what you're supposed to be. So a few months out, you notice diets start changing, people start getting a little cranky or they start getting a little bigger. Things change. You go into that WrestleMania mode's coming, you know, and then about a month out, the energy gets kind of crazy, insane, and you know it's amped up. It's like the biggest event of the year, and then the Raws start dialing in, and you know exactly where you're going to be at WrestleMania. So the energy, it's crazy. It's a great feeling, and then you got WrestleMania week, which can be great, and it also be a nightmare. It depends upon how you're good at handling things, you know, because it's a very, very busy week with press conferences, events, appearances, and stuff like that. On top of, and now I hear they rehearse everything. So like before, we didn't really rehearse a lot of things. We'd have some walkthroughs, and you know, but like now it's like all these rehearsals and stuff. So on top of all that, they have different rehearsals and things they got to do. It's a different generation and different beast now. Still wrestling, but it's just a lot more is done, preluded to it. So it's a crazy week. So if you're into the energy and you're into handling, like if you want to be that spotlight, it's a great week. If you're not good at handling crowds and people and multitasking, and it could be a bit of a anxiety and a little bit of a nightmare, but WrestleMania itself is an amazing thing to be a part of. And yeah, the energy is crazy. It's off the charts.
That's awesome. And then talk a little bit about yours and the Brood's involvement in the Undertaker hanging with Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15.
Yeah, we hung the Big Boss Man.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
What do you want me to say? That's it. Was in Philadelphia, actually. WrestleMania 15 was at Philly. The First Union, I think it was called. I don't know what it's called now. Might be called the same thing. I think Wachovia. Was it changed now? I'm sure it's changed. These venues change names 3 times in 10 years.
Because they get bought out.
Depending upon who has the money, what bank, or what investment company, or whatever. But Philadelphia, it was in Philadelphia. We weren't a part of it originally. It was just a part of the pre-events, the preludes, like different appearances, you know, how the whole company's a part of something. So you always have something to do. If you're part of the company, 90% of you, if you, the 10% don't, you either got heat or you're hurt. But like you're involved with something, like an appearance here or there. So we're out there for the week of WrestleMania, and then like they said we had rehearsals, and we're like, rehearsals? What do we have a rehearsal for? And because for one, they didn't do very many rehearsals for anything. And two, like we weren't a part of anything. So they tell us to come down to the building on a Saturday morning or something, and. There's nobody down there, and this stunt guy comes up with these harnesses, and they go, "Oh, you're gonna propel from the ceiling." You're like, "What?" Like, yeah. So they took us through like one test run of propelling from the ceiling. That was our rehearsal, and then
I think they learned their lesson.
And then, which was the next month, the next pay-per-view, Owen passed away. They changed the harnesses.
Yeah.
And quick release and terrible tragedy, and lost a really great human being. Owen was a tremendous. Nobody like him. Work-wise, as a human being, and he was just an amazing individual. It's a terrible loss. So we propelled down, and I just saw a clip on it somewhere. I think I shared it with you it popped up somewhere like 25 years ago today or something, or however many years ago WrestleMania was.
Yeah.
So what WrestleMania is it now?
15.
No, now.
40.
40, so how many years is that? How many years ago is that? Take 15 from 40. What do you have?
I don't know. I'm not good at math.
25. So 25 years ago. So we propelled down the WrestleMania. It's in Philadelphia. We propelled down, and that goes well. I almost missed the cage. If you watch it, like one leg comes off, I'm like, oh shit, I get back on there. Because it was one rehearsal. That rehearsal I made the cage. That one. Much like with the live energy and all that. I don't know.
You're scared of heights?
Yeah, I'm afraid. Definitely.
How was that?
Terrifying. Terrible. Like, you want to let go of the ledge. It's just like you look down. You're standing up there watching. I think the match before might have been X-Pac or something, but you couldn't even see them. That's how high up you were. They just look like little ants. Like you couldn't even barely see who was down there or see anything. And that's how. I don't think Christian was a fan of it. And I don't know if it bothered Edge.
I was like, wait till you skydive and all you see from the plane is just different color green boxes.
I still haven't made.
I'm sorry.
I still haven't made.
We gotta do it.
I haven't made the skydive way to 240 yet. I blew back up to 253 now, but I'm back down to 249 again. Like I don't know. I'm like a skydive weights 240 in Florida. I think that's like negative or something. That's what you close on. I'll probably have to get. They probably won't count me naked because they got to weigh in the clothes. Can I skydive naked? I'm 240. Can I go naked? Like I'd be like, no, sir.
I remember they didn't even. Well,
can you imagine old man balls flapping in the wind, dropping at that speed like this?
That would hurt. I feel like
it probably looked like somebody's blinder. It probably looked like in Fat Albert, the guy that used to wear the thing hat over his head. Yeah, balls come up over your head like that. Like a ball sack for a hat, like a mask, like a ski mask, ball sack, ski mask. That's not good. Wait, get away from all that. Back to that thought is I'm not gonna shake the thought of that veiny mask. No.
Oh my. No.
Like somehow the Silence of the Lamb. I'm gonna wear your ball sack on my head. Like, hello, Clarice. Well, I don't know. It'd be Clarice if it was a ball sack. It'd be hello, Carl. Never mind. Blah, 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 blah. Out the ceiling. Boom. Almost missed the cage, but it was a rush. It was great. But then you had to walk on top of the cage, and all you could think about is like when Mankind, Cactus Jack, fell through the cage and his tooth went through his nose, but he felt the wrong side of the cage gave, like, so he wasn't expecting it. It was supposed to be a different side, but ultimately he was going to go through the cage. But whatever. So you're thinking like, hopefully don't fall through the cage here. And you get there, and then we got to rip the cage up, and that goes fine. We break the cage. We drop the noose in. Undertaker puts a noose on the Big Boss Man's neck, and we raise up in the ceiling. But as we're going up, Christian makes it right to the beam, so his hands are on the beam, so he's almost there. I'm in between the lighting and the sound board, and Edge is like down there, like it's just above the ring. Like people can still see him, and the circuit's blue, the breakers blue, whatever, the fuses or whatever blue. So we're all stuck there, and I'm just thinking, oh God, please don't let him come on this PA, because like it's an arena. You know, imagine how loud that PA is there. I look down, and Edge is just hanging down there, which is good for him because he got a lot of pictures. Like there's a lot of press there, but eventually they fixed that. We got up and. We were just glad we survived that, and then, and then being shook from that, it was still a rush. It was a great rush, and
that's awesome.
It was part of Wrestlemania, so but the match was so controversial. It doesn't get a lot of the hanging itself was very realistic, so it's kind of very dark. So it didn't get a lot of replay, and then they've edited like off of some of the advertisings and different things in the future, so. So, this is a bit heavy, but it was still cool to be part of WrestleMania. And so if I could propel out of the ceiling, I think I can handle the skydiving. Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. Well, I got to get down to that 240 weight. Or I got to get down to 235 or I'll be doing it naked. So.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, the wind pressure. Because, like, when I went, I was.
Is there such thing? I'm sure there is a naked skydiving.
I don't think so.
I'm sure there is.
That would hurt because you're wearing a harness and things can get caught there. That would hurt.
No, it's in your here. It's not like if you have pants on and it's wedging there. You got issues. It's still like.
Well, at the time I was a little bigger, so when the parachute came out and then you feel like that big pull. My legs were just like, it hurt me a little bit. Well,
she did that to a poor girl in class yesterday, Raymond. Let me tell you about this. This girl's trying to learn handstand bumps.
WrestleMania 40 cars,
this
Saturday
poor girl's
night.
trying to learn handstand bumps, right? So you do a handstand, and then you come around, and you land your bump, right? Well, she goes up for the handstand. I go to throw her down. Nicole pulls her leg the other way, so she wishbones. Her leg's about to pull off, and then she crashes and burns. And Nicole blames me.
The leg, because like anytime that we do that, we grab the leg so they can do the handstand and then let them go lightly. So he pushes her leg and I'm holding her other leg. She's like a turkey ball. You know how you take the. She literally did a split and I was like, oh my god.
Thought we ripped her leg off. Yeah, poor girl. Good thing she was flexible.
Yeah.
I think she was a girl.
Yeah. Things hurt.
I'm scared though because she's a lawyer. Might be getting sued, Nicole.
Good thing I dropped out of law school and I know.
But she looked at me like I did it. You guys girl powered up and like allied really quick and put the evil eye on me, the stank eye on me, like I was in the wrong. It probably was because I just like
Latina women.
All right,
they do that to you.
Saturday night, WrestleMania, first WrestleMania 40 card one, like night one.
Yeah, so The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
Hold on, say that really fast. Rock and Roman Reigns. That sounds good.
Rock and Roman Reigns. Rock and Roman Reigns.
Rock and Roman Reigns. Sounds like the Rock and Roll Express. Rock and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, rock and roll. Rock and Roman Reigns versus
Rock and Roman. R. Yeah. With 3 R's.
Triple R.
Yeah. All right.
Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and then Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Mm-hmm. The Intercontinental Championship, Gunther and Sami Zayn. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. 6-pack ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships is Judgment Day. Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth versus DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. It's Italian, right? Versus New Day.
I have no idea what it is.
Huh?
I have no idea if it's Italian. I don't know. Tommaso Ciampa. That's what.
I always think like with or Italian, the C is always like a ch. I don't know. Anyway, New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods versus.
Well, what was clear is that because Big E's not wrestling.
You what?
So Big E's not wrestling, so you just say New Day. They'll know. New Day. You don't gotta say it all.
What's it? I mean, you want me to read out all the names or just like I don't know, because that's a lot of reading.
All right.
New Catch Republic versus 8-Town Down Under, and then we have Bianca Belair, Naomi, Jade Cargill versus Damage Control.
So.
Oh yeah, and then Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
See, to me,
it's a lot of reading.
All right, well, and we're gonna go over it again. Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody and Seth. Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Gunther, Sammy, Uso on Uso. And you got the 6-pack with the Judgment Day, Miz, and Gargano and New Day, right? And then Bianca, and then you got Jade Cargill, which everybody's waiting to see what's going to go on with Dakota Kai and the Damage Control crew, right? And then you got Mysterio and Dragon Lee, Escobar, and then you got Dominic Mysterio. What better, like I don't care what night 2 is. This is the night. This card here this is enough for me. Night 2, I'm sure, is Roman versus Cody on top, and Seth versus Drew McIntyre probably. So those are like. Those two, yeah, but right here, this is a complete. To me, I'm gonna enjoy night 1, and I don't know that I'll peek out night 2 because I want to see what happens with Rock and Roman, right? Where it goes, but the Usos, I'm looking forward to Uso on Uso. Every time you get to see Uso on Uso, right? And then Rhea, I'm a giant Judgment Day and a Rhea Ripley fan. So I think Becky Lynch works no harder than any other when it's WrestleMania time. Gunther, he's really come on. I mean, I worked him as Walter right before he went and was signed with WWE Walter. And then you got El Generico, Sami Zayn. El Generico. You remember you don't remember, but Raymond remembers El Generico, right? Sami Zayn, who they're killing it. Like in the clips I'm seeing, and like a little bit whenever I turn on. I mean, Gunther's really coming into it like superstar stat. I don't know who he drug out. I had it on mute because I was doing something. I don't know if it was Sami Zayn's bro who he drug out, like beat up just recently, and Sami Zayn was in the ring. But I'm looking forward to this. I really am. How this breaks down. How Cody and Seth will get along with each other in the ring, and how Rock and Roman will get along. That's a whole other story there, And then, of course, I'm a big Judgment Day fan, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. So I'm really, and I love New Day. Kofi's one, and Xavier, two of the most respectful, nicest guys that go out of the way. And then you got Austin Theory, and I like Grayson Waller, Australian, right? So nice guy. He comes to all the shows, even when he's not. He's in WWE, signed a contract, but he'll still show up in Kissimmee and support people and watch things when he's on another level and climbing the top. So, it's a guy that loves wrestling, So, I'm always going to respect that. And, of course, Bianca Belair, she's a beast. And Jade, I just curious to see what all this time, what all this time in NXT, how much she's evolved or developed from her AEW days, which are very limited and obviously due of lack of experience in knowing anything about professional wrestling, but now like with some time in NXT and all that, well, where it goes. So there's a lot of exciting things, and Rey Mysterio's never let down. Anytime you see Rey Mysterio, never let down, and and Dominic, he's really coming to his own. So you got your dad on one end, you got the son on the other end. This is a very exciting card to me, and I'm very looking forward to night 1. I truly am. This is stacked, jacked, and packed, however you want to look at it, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited for night 1. For me, I'm telling you, I had already glimpsed at it this morning when I was eating my eggs at like 7 a.m. or 6 a.m.
How many eggs?
3 egg whites, half a cup. 3 eggs, half a cup of egg whites with a bunch of cream of wheat. It was good though. I love the breakfast part of my diet plan. This is the rest of the day. I struggle eating the rest of the day. Asparagus and my pea stinks all the time now. And I don't know. There's a lot of weird things going on with that whole diet. Here we go. Sunday, night 2, WrestleMania 40 card. What we got?
We have Roman versus Cody, then Seth versus Drew McIntyre. Women's is Evo Sky and Bailey. Then we have the United States Championship Triple Threat, Logan Paul and Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and then there's Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits.
Oh shit! Go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I Karen Cross. He slid back. All right, he slid back in there. All right, I didn't know that he was back. I seen him putting videos up, and his hair is long, and he's really dyed it down. But I didn't realize he slid back up into the groove of things. I haven't watched the show, so all right. So, but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Is Akeem and are they the Indian fellas? Is that the Indian dudes?
Final Testament.
No, the authors of Pain.
They look.
Okay.
They look slightly small. Those big old white looking guys.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know because I haven't really like that last thing. Like I didn't even know Karen Cross. I've seen his things, but I didn't realize he was back, and I'm super excited about that because I'm he's a great guy. I love that dude. He's like him and his wife are like really cool people. Like so all right. So you got Roman and Cody Rhodes, right? So everybody's been waiting for that. They give you a sample. I don't know what story they tell night one. I think night one is going to reflect what goes on in night two. Whatever stories they tell, I don't know. Like so, you got to watch night two because of I'm sure night one is going to set up night two in some kind of sense. They're going to cliffhanger you and bring you over. So then you got Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre, which Drew has nothing to do on night one. So that's just straightforward. They are mad at and Drew wants to beat up Seth for whatever reason, and then Seth says Drew's a spotlight whore or whatever, and or vice versa. Drew called him that, and he said he's really that, whatever. So I saw some of that. The women's, I really could pass on. No offense, ladies. Triple threat. Logan Paul is very exciting. Randy Orton's tremendous, and Kevin Owens is great. So that has the potential to be really good. LA Knight and AJ Styles. I don't know. I love AJ. LA Knight's cool, but. And then Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, Montez and Angelo and Karen. I mean, it's interesting. It's all interesting, but to me, night one is still the draw for me. Like night one has my attention. Now, night one, what it'll do is probably bait me for night two. They'll set up things where, of course, I'm gonna have to see what happens with Roman and Cody, because like whatever happens in night one, and maybe something from Seth even bleeds over. Maybe Drew runs in and he's involved in that tag. Who knows what happens there? Maybe he comes in and he drags Seth Rollins out and it leaves poor Cody in there by himself with The Rock and Roman, and then maybe Rock and Roman are gonna get in a fight over who's gonna end fucking Cody's life, you know, and there's a big fallout. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna weed their way or get through that drama, but so I'm sure night one, just glancing at the two cards, you're going to go, I'm drawing the night one. But I'm sure night one is definitely going to set it up to where you're going to have to watch night two. So looks like I'm going to lose about 40 hours of my weekend on WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania 40 is probably 40 hours of this card. Like they just tend to drag it on with all the stuff. I get it. It's the hoopah, this and that. But 2 nights of it can be a bit much, and I could never do it in person. So my hat's off to you. I don't know what your draw is to go there and see the person. It's much better for me to watch it on TV where I can actually see the work and appreciate the work and not get caught up in the, oh my gosh, this night's dragging and I got to get an Uber out of here. I'm never going to get back to my room and like, oh, there's a party going on here. Oh, come over here. See, I'm not, that all didn't elude me, but night one, if you lined them up side by side, night one, I'm going to go, if I had to pick and say I can only see one, I'm going to say night one. But once you watch night one, I'm sure all the hooks and the setups are going to make you have to watch night two. But if they put them side by side and said you only get to watch one night, I'm going to go with night one.
Yeah.
But it looks like a very exciting WrestleMania 40. It looks like it's going to be WrestleManias are never really a letdown in any kind of way. I just, it's like the Super Bowl in football. The commercials are cool and everything. You get drawn it, but that also gets long. But 2 nights of WrestleMania, it's like having 2 Super Bowl nights. Like it could get you'd be like, all right. It's just tough for me the 2 nights.
I would say it's more like kind of like March Madness or something where it's like.
Yeah, but it's all
different games. But
yeah, well, like night one builds.
Because it's not like the same team.
Yeah, well, because they're eliminations and people are moving up in brackets, so that's
maybe
different.
I don't know.
But night one will set up night two. I'm sure for sure where you'll want to watch. At least the last 2 matches are going to be set up in night one to make you want to come back and watch night two. Well, you want to watch it anyways.
Main event.
Yeah, the main event, right? So Cody and Roman. So, but. Definitely night one is gonna hook you to make sure you come back for night two. All right.
We'll see.
If they know what they're doing, and I'm sure they do.
Now we're gonna wrap it up with some comments from fans. Yeah. Florida man poops on the highway. So that video, I think his name is Joe Kier. 520 said Gangrel acting like he never drove naked through Rhode Island, pulled over and shit on the side of the highway.
Well, I never
Why are you
pooped
so
on.
negative?
Who said this anyway?
Joe Care.
Okay, like I never done it. Well, I might have possibly driven naked through Rhode Island. I probably walked through Rhode Island naked. I don't know if I've driven, but I'm sure I've been naked in Rhode Island because I woke up in a hospital a few times in Rhode Island. I have some bad luck in Rhode Island. But I can guarantee you I never crapped on the highway, side of the highway in Rhode Island. One, it's too cold in the winter. Most of the time I was always up there, it's in the winter or raining. Well, I'm not going to get out there. So, but I've probably been naked in Rhode Island. I'll give you that.
Oh, okay. Bartholomew J. Smurfington 130 says, "Man, I know this is random as hell, but I met you and Luna at the dive of a gym in Newport Richie or Holiday, Florida."
Hold on. You're trying to call, what was that? Built to Last? You're trying to say Built to Last was a dive? Go on.
Florida on US 19 back in like 98 or 99. You two were cool AF to me, and you even took time out and spotted me for a set on the bench press. All my friends at my high school was deep into the Attitude Era at that point, and the amount of high school clout I got from that encounter was massive. LMAO. Cool to see you're still out there, and I just wanted to say thanks to you and Luna, rest in peace, for just being cool ass people in real life encounter to a teenage fan when you were under no obligation to me whatsoever.
Well, let's go back to
A lot of acronyms there, huh?
Holiday, boom, boom, boom. AF, what is that? As fuck? Is that what that means?
as
Okay,
fuck.
cool. All right.
I tried to
Yeah, well, but
do all the other ones.
because the F word. I got you. I'm sorry.
good.
Cool as flip. All right. It's bothering me. Yeah, no, I believe the gym you're talking about was, I think it was called Built to Last. My buddy Joey owned it. Joey he owned it, and that's where I got in the best shape of my life, is working out at that gym. I dropped down to 228 there and stuff like that. I don't know why people aren't. Everybody's not cool. It's where I lived, right? It's my hometown gym. You can just go be a jerk to people. Like, I'm sure you're like a super nice guy, and you're probably lifting more weight than I could ever lift when I spotted you. So I was probably worried I couldn't even spot you, man. But thank you. Thanks for remembering, and thanks for reaching back out. And I hope things are going well in your life, man. I hope you're getting out of Pasco County, man. Don't get stuck in Pasco, though. That could be a sketchy county. Remember, I told you all the Florida men really probably come from Pasco County. Hopefully, you don't end up a Florida man, but you might want to explain the Smurfington 130 to me one day, though. I'm not sure what that says. Smurfington, right? Yeah, Smurfington.
Yeah.
No, man, cool. Thank you for the hello, man. I hope things are going great. A gym is now, I believe, a furniture store. I live in South Florida now, but I believe it's like a wicker furniture store or something now. But it was a good gym, man. Let's see. We were at I did train in another 24-hour fitness, a 24-hour gym. That was a dive. It was like you had to have a key. It was just like a room, a dungeon, and maybe that's the gym he's talking about. Because it could be that gym, but either they were both good gyms for me, and I got in the best shape there. So good to hear from him, my man. Oh.
Last one. So Gangrel on Bull Nakano's WWE Hall of Fame induction. Hi, Gangrel. Do you think Luna Vachon will ever be inducted into the actual WWE Hall of Fame now that Triple H is overseeing it? I know she received a legacy award, but she clearly deserves to be in the actual Hall of Fame class itself sometime.
Well, does she deserve to be? Yes. From many levels, just from coming up through Florida Championship Wrestling with Kevin Sullivan and carrying on. If you listen to Jim Cornette, I think he explains Luna best with his experiences, and he rates her like above all the other workers because she clearly understood professional wrestling and was very smart to it in a time that women didn't really have much opportunities in it. So and that she would excelled today, and where women are today, and she would have been like really happy to see that women are getting their that there are headlining. Like it's common to be on a Wrestlemania or and pay-per-views, and that women have come that the movement and the women are used in such a better way now in professional wrestling. And she wouldn't be happy to hear about all the negative stuff that's come out with all the other stuff with the abuse towards women and stuff like that. That always drove her crazy and made her even more insane, and unfortunately she was already dealing with. But will she ever get in there? I doubt it. I hope so. It would be really nice. But I think once they've mentioned you're that host of a wing or whatever that other thing was, that honorable mention type of wing. I don't know. I don't think she'll get in there if you're asking me that. Does she deserve to be in there? I think she absolutely does. And I think she's done a lot more for professional wrestling and women in professional wrestling itself than she'll ever get credit for. So it's a shame, but it is what it is. And it's the world we live in.
Okay. And that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, hell's bells there. Okay. So that was episode 95. You're going off to WrestleMania. Hopefully, I hope you learn something out there and don't get in trouble. I hope you don't go out there.
I don't party. I don't do anything. I'm a grandma.
You don't have to party to get in trouble. It's according to Raymond, there's a lot of energies out there. April is coming. He's got me terrified. And check out that vampire thing I sent you that Raymond sent me. So but don't watch it tonight before you go to bed.
Daytime.
Yeah. Maybe listen to it on your way home from here. But, thank you, everybody, for joining us. Bang and Bang with Gangrel, Nikki Blackheart, and Shady Ray in the corner over there. That was episode 95. Want some?
It's
Bad enough.